Okay guys, it's Sunday, it's blowing a gale, rain. We've had a couple of hurricanes and it's just as bad today, but I'm going to give it a go today. It's a good turnout down Port Talbot, so going to do the draw now in a minute. What's that?
Envelope first, £80.
Oh, there we are. Plus a bonus bag if you draw it, so not bad.
Yeah, we got £50.
50 quid for the golden bag. That's good. Okay. Well, anyway, let's go and draw in a minute and let's see how we get on. Okay, right, just drawn. Gosh, horrible weather. Bloody windy, rain. They reckon it might get better later on. Anyway, I've drawn 16, which is by the pontoon. So I'll see you down at the peg now and I'll talk a little bit about it when I get there. Okay, guys, right, I'm up at the van. Rather than tackle up in the wind and the rain, I thought I'd do it in the van and just carry my stuff down. So, but before I do, I'll just go through a few things with you, just so you know what I'm doing, because I might not be able to talk too much with the wind today to the camera. So let me show you my bait first. Okay, well, first thing, I'm using my black Bream ground bait special. Now, I've already mixed some up the night before because I want to make this ground bait inert. I don't want it to be fizzy at all. I want it to be flat. So what I've done, I've mixed this up overnight, so the water's absorbed into the cereal, into the ground bait. Okay, I've got another bucket there as well. That's I'm going to do a little mix for balling in on that because I'm going to ball it in today because, as I said, with the conditions as it is, I want to get some feed down right at the very beginning. Okay, my bait, well, I got casters, obviously. Now, I got dead maggots in there. I've taken the air out and I've left them basically overnight. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put them in water, and that's going to keep them dead, or still at least anyway. So they're not actually dead and rotten, they're actually still alive, but they'll be motionless. So that's what Bream like as well. So I might pick a couple out for live bait as well, so which I'll put on a hook. But mainly I'll probably be fishing the still dead maggot, red dead. Now, corn comes into its own. I got two types of corn here. I've got the large corn, which you can buy obviously from the supermarkets. Then I've got the baby corn. Now the baby corn I find is better for the hook. Softer, smaller, and the fish tend to get it down their mouth better. Okay, so as I say, two corns. I'll be putting that in the feed. I'll be putting that in the feed as well, but keeping some back for obviously the hook. I've got my worms. Now I'll be putting chopped worm in, and the secret is not to start with the worm, is to introduce it sort of a little bit later, you know, throughout the match. And that's what I'll be doing. So that's pretty straightforward. Just show you my feeders. Now, because of the depth of the water, it's 20 odd foot, I've got some heavy feeders which I've put extra weight on, but I've taped them up so that obviously when I put the ground bait in into the feeder, basically it doesn't come out until it hits the bottom. And when it comes, obviously when it's on the bottom, by twitching it should come out. Okay, so I got a couple of them ready. Now these, I won't use these today. This is the old Harrier feeder. Now these are brilliant because when you strike these, they come straight to the surface, and especially if you're fishing far out and you've got snags on the inside, this is a brilliant feeder. I don't know whether they make them anymore, but they call the old Harrier feeders. Maybe one day some of you will reintroduce them into the market, but they're quite valuable and I keep them there. So I use them from time to time. Then of course I've got block end feeders, which if I just want to fish just loose feed, or you know, just feed in the actual on the bottom. So there you are. Right, I got hooks to nylon already tied up. Now these are tied up for about 8 to 10 inches, and the idea is for a quick change in case I tangle, because you know time is an essence. I'm going to try a new hook today as well. Okay, yes, as I was saying, I'm trying some new hooks out today. Guru ones. These are the barbers, PRT coated. And I've also then got the these Guru feeder ones. Now these are microbabs. Now since Matrix have stopped making the hooks that I've been using, so yeah, I'll just quickly show you the rod. Now I've been using this for a few years now. It's a carbo active, and I've modified this slightly because these rods basically they if I show you the tip, it's actually built into the actual rod itself. But what I've done, I've modified it by fining down the tip itself, so it's very, very soft, as you can see. So that'll, you know, hopefully detect shy biting fish. And the other rod, which I'm using, is a Shimano. It's the old Beastmaster. Again, a 9-foot rod, so I don't want them particularly long. And this one, it's got the original tip to it, which is okay. I might probably use that more today because of the wind conditions. And those are my 2 rods, basically. I was going to set up another one, but I think I'll just concentrate on 2 rods. If I snap on one, I'll go back onto the other ones. Okay. I'll just show you the reels I'm using. This is a Shimano, which is I've had this for a few years now. It's quite a nice reel. It's not big, it's nice, and it's a medium-sized reel. I can line clip this quite easy, and it works well. Nice retrieve on it, 5-to-1. And then also a cadence. I use this more for on rivers, but it does work, you know, obviously for feeder fishing as well. And again, those are my 2 reels. So yeah, that gives you an insight to my tackle. Okay, right, I just set these up, as I said, by the van, out of the wind. And right, basically, I always use, I prefer to use this type of rig in the dock. Now, I'm a fan of the helicopter rigs, you know, but this I find far better because I want to fish, you know, on the bottom. I don't want to fish off the bottom, which you tend to do with helicopter rigs, because obviously you slide the, you know, the stoppers up the line, don't you? Well, this is directly almost like it's a running rig with a loop. So I've got a loop of about 12 inches. So basically, as that runs down the line, it's like a self bolting rig. So if I get a fish that'll take me quick, it'll just take me to the end of the loop and it'll hook itself. On this particular rig, I've got a good 14-15 inches. Now I might shorten that because you know, as the match progresses, if the fish respond to the feed, you know, to the feeder, they more or less attack the feeder. So I will shorten that, maybe, you know, slightly lighter later on. Now, on the other rig, I've done exactly the same, but of course I got a shorter tail on this one. This one is only probably about 10 inches. Again, I'll do the same with that. Another run rig. Now, identical rigs almost. You know, I've added extra weight on this particular one to get it done quicker. But one thing I've got to tell you, because a lot of people don't realise, when you actually feeder fishing in deep water, if you line clip it, what happens is the feeder will enter the water, and as it's travelling down, particles from that feed will actually, if you like, fall down where the feeder hits the water, if that makes sense. And because you've line clipped it, the feeder will actually swing in a yard or two. So I got 2 rigs, one as I said, they'll both be clipped up, but this will be clipped up a yard or 2 further out than the other one, so I can alternate, you know, on both rigs. If, for example, the bites slow up, then what I'll do, I'll put the other rig which is slightly further out, and hopefully pick up a few more fish. So anyway, that's the theory. We'll have to put it into practice now. Okay, so I'm going to go down to my peg now, and I'll show you the conditions, which is quite bad really, but yeah, a couple of anglers got the same idea there, setting up in the vans. Okay, here we are, peg 16 next to the buttress. For those who've been following my vlog, you know I've had this before. I also mentioned I come third in the Welsh National off this peg, catching bream late on, and as I said, I had 40 odd pound, just got beat by a couple of pound. Now, I tell you what's noticeable today, there's a lot of colour in the water, and that's obviously because all the water and all the rain we've been having. It is blowing up quite a bit, as you can see. One good thing, there's not many white horses. Now when I say white horses, you know, those white curly waves on the water, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, although it's still pretty bad. But one good thing is I am in a peg that it's got a little bit of cover from the buttress, so that's good from the pontoon. Yeah, I'm looking down the dock. They do say it's going to clear up later, let's hope so. Oh, I did notice a ship pulled in as well, so it wouldn't surprise me. There's a bit of salt in the water today. But for people who've been following my gold medal ground bait roadshow, you know that salt in the ground bait still works even though there's salt in the water. It's one of them things that Bream like. They do like salty ground bait. Okay, there you are. There you are, that's in case I fall in. Okay, just a quick update. About an hour's gone. I've had a couple of skimmers and I had a bream, and I just lost another one. But I think it was foul hooked because the wave was fighting. The owner, he just come along and he said they're catching roach down there. So, but I got the feeling it's not fishing all that well. You know, not as good as normal due to the fact that it's cold and a lot of fresh water in here and a bit of colour. So, you know, just keep plodding along anyway. As I say, you know, it's a pity I just lost that one then. I probably got about 4 or 5 pound, I think, after an hour. So, so let's hope it picks up a bit. As again, the sun's trying to come out as well. So you never know. All right, catch you in a bit. Yeah, it looks like a waiting game here today. It's like our, oops, a bite. Missed it. Yeah, there you are. It's 2 hours now. I've gone down to a smaller hook just to see if, you know, maybe I'll catch a couple of roach, and I've had a couple. Oh, going now. Yeah, so as I was saying, well, I got interrupted. There was a little skimmer about 12 ounces in. Yeah, I'd gone back to, well, I've gone down to a small hook to see if I can pick up a few fish, and it seems to be responding a little bit. Say a couple of roach, and then I had that skimmer. So I had the other one on the worm, but I'm waiting too long for bites. That's the trouble. I just wish I knew what everybody else was doing. So it's come to that stage now in the match where, you know, what do I do? Do I sit it out and wait for the bigger fish, or do I just keep, you know, trying to catch the smaller ones? You know, and there are no runners along here, so they do help sometimes. But there you are, you know, fishing, sometimes you've got to just get your head down and hope for the best at the end of the match. As I say, it is a bit quiet today compared to how it normally is. Oops. Yep. Right, carry on it. See you in a bit. wind's picking up, but at least it's gone dry. And going down to a smaller hook seems to be working. I've had a nice little run of you know, little skimmers and a couple of bream, so let's hope I can keep it going. Yeah, so well, just through the bite. Well, I'll show you the fish instead. It's only small skimmers, but you know, as I say, they're taking 3 maggots on a 14. So I shall keep it going. We've got a perch. Yeah. Says, you know, the sun's coming out, it's blowing, but again, there's a few odd different types of fish now, so it's good. Okay, 20 minutes to go. I've been catching steadily, like, you know, dead reds. I had to go on a worm. I had a couple on a worm, but they were taking their time. You know, the thing is with bream and skimmers, you know, they come in and then they go out. They come in, they go out, and you just gotta, you know, be ready for them, I think, and you know, make sure you got the right bait, and of course the right ground bait. Let's say this black bream I use, it's got fish in it and a seed. But as I say, the secret is mixing it, you know, probably the night before. And not with tap water, by the way. A lot of people just fall into that trap with all the chlorine and fluoride. I use filtered water. Oops, I got one. Excuse me. Small skimmer. Pulled out of it. Yes, so yep, so I was saying yeah, filtered water, don't use out of the tap because the chlorine and fluoride will, you know, it's not, I'm sure it's not good. Filtered water, you can get them cheap from Asda's, a little filter jar, like, you know, and that's how to do it. Okay, speak to you in a bit. Go and do the weigh in a minute. Okay, match is over. I haven't had a bad day, you know. I've had a few fish on and off. Typical skimmers and Remo, they come and they go, they come and they go. But and I don't know, Steve on the end peg, right down the bottom, the organizer, apparently he's right bagged up. So this should be interesting. He's emitting to 30 pound just above me here, so you know, as I say, go and do the weigh, you know. Let's have a look. I suppose the story is, started off a bit slow, gradually got better, and then in the last hour it quietened off a little bit again, but I'm still picking the odd fish up. As I say, double treble reds, double worm. I tried the corn, I didn't get much on the corn though. Well, they certainly come to that ground bait, I know that. And I didn't get through, I only got through about 2 bags, 2 kilo bags, so, you know, it's not bad, is it? Okay, let's go and do the weigh-in then, and let's see what we got. Okay, this is the end peg, Steve, the organizer. Probably the winner, potential winner.
Hey, come on in.
Because peg 1 they used to put in years ago by here. They don't put it in so much now. Well, they don't put these as bottom end pegs. See, it's nice and comfortable there with a platform. Right. Oh, did you? Yeah, a nice net full of fish. Any rocks in there?
Sorry?
Any rocks?
No.
No.
Put some in if you want, man. Don't need them by here.
Oh. You've been sheltered by here, haven't you, from the wind?
Yeah, it'd be nice. To be honest. Really nice.
You don't always go here, but when they do,
Yeah. Oh, nice net of fish there, look at that. And eel.
Oh, a couple of eels, nice perch in it.
Yeah.
Nice roach. Good mixed bag, like.
I want to see this 10-ounce fucking roach you got. Flick it, man! Come on!
Come on, mind the swearing now. This is on.
No, then.
This is. I'm filming this.
There you go, Rich.
I should censor this.
Someone's sticking in the hole. Just watch me struggling.
Oh, there's almost there.
What's that go? 2?
29, that is.
29 dead, isn't it?
Yep, 29 pound dead.
29. Okay, well done. You said about 30, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Let's get back down here and check them in.
He's admitting to 30 on the end mine.
Yeah.
That player.
Peg 20, isn't it? Is it peg 20?
No, it's peg 19.
Oh, peg 20 is a golden peg, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been up to see him. Okay, £29 winning. Eh? Yeah.
It's not a camera strong enough, sir.
Well, you're on video anyway, so.
I'm duty for.
Well done, Ian. All the way from Bristol. You like it, don't you?
I do, I love it. It's a bit like Ireland, really.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah. Loads of fish in you.
And this is weather's rough.
Oh yeah, well,
Good fish this morning.
I mean, it's beautiful now.
I mean, I fished it last week and it was still great. You know?
You had a wait last week, didn't you? 20.
But it actually
29.
Yeah, okay. It's a nice net for Ian, Perry, and Bristol.
29.
Was a zero the scales, I suppose it was.
Yeah, it means there's a rock on the end, they keep that.
Yeah.
Oh, he must have been.
Yeah, but he had 2 fish and just threw them back.
Oh, right, okay.
You should zero them, really.
Yeah, I should keep zero that. We're going to weigh them again now, really.
Yeah.
Have you got any in the weigh net yet?
No, nothing in there yet.
Re-zero that, but
Yeah, re-zero it because.
2 fish just come out, see?
Yeah, because otherwise.
Yeah. It's going to be a false reading, otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it fine?
Back of it, yeah, 2 ounces on, like.
All right.
There we are, lovely, smack on.
Oh.
You know, used to having so many fish, that's what it is.
I am, it's just that rock was on the end.
Oh, is it?
A few things wrong today. Lots of fish was wrong. Yeah, you know what you've done after, what do you think?
Yeah, I know. I think we all make a few little boo-boos like.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we're nipping the thing in it.
That's 30 odd pound now.
Yeah.
Where's your attention, yeah?
No,
That was intentional.
it was like a big rud.
Unintentional.
No. Oh, not quite.
7.
26.6. Well done, Ivan.
26.6. All right.
26.
26.6.
Yeah, hold it up, hold it up. That's cracking.
That's a lovely rod, isn't it? Yeah, let me have a look.
His eyes off, follow those shit.
Shall I?
Give his eye off. Right, now we take a photograph, look.
Yeah.
There we go. You hold it
I'm
up.
going to wet my pants a bit up.
Hold his other fish out. Oh, there we are. Lovely, hold that.
It's beautiful fish.
That's a clonking rod.
Yeah. Beautiful fish.
£2,
Yeah,
isn't it?
lovely. Yeah, okay.
There's a bit of wind in there.
No.
Was that on the pole? Whip. On the whip. Yeah. Good pegs by you for the whip, isn't he? It's a nice bag of fish.
Seen him snagged up in one time.
£20 1 ounce.
20 pound.
Yeah,
Nice
or
bag.
22. Yeah.
21 1 ounce.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your game again, Paul?
Nixon.
Yeah. Open up, Paul. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
Perch, look.
All on the whip.
Vibrate.
Well done, Paul.
Thank you.
Black horse Bradley. He always catches a few. Yeah, I don't know. You and your worm. You're the first one to introduce worm on you.
Just let me go back here, Smith. What do you mean? You didn't matter with you, boat. Right? Yeah, come on in, bud. Hang on.
Come on there.
No, I'm not taking him out yet.
Oh, look at him.
You can kiss him, go goodbye. I can wait for you to get waiting there.
Get on with it. Time he gets up there, you'll be here.
No, I will.
He speaks a foreign language, doesn't he? Can you understand what he says?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Chuck it in
We
now.
know we've
Four
got
lines
a
back
translator
there.
for him. Just tip him into there then.
No, they could just fucking go back there.
No. Oh, you.
Even guys from Sheffield know what a jack rats are like, look. For fuck's sake.
Chris, you're going to have to get a translator to come with you.
Where's he from? Sheffield.
Well, it sounds like that. I'm not sure. It sounds like Sheffield.
I know a few people from Sheffield, they don't fucking sound like him, let me tell you.
I know a few from town, no, they don't sound like me either. Is it Wendy anyway?
You know, he's been coughing, and he's been coughing without bleeding,
Put his hand away,
Yeah.
look.
just mucky. How much is it?
17.5.
Give it a second. 17.8, yeah.
So, what did you have, Paul? You didn't wait, did you?
No,
Oh, you didn't bother, do you? No, okay.
both fucking braid snap, twice in both fucking
Oh.
Well, no,
Go on to mono, I do.
fucking nil 'em.
Braid's too sharp for me.
Photograph with the biggest one of them, Al.
Shut
Oh, well, now.
I tell you what, you got the smallest bagfish, I think. Small fish bag.
Why did the little ones come to me? That's why.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, last time you had small ones, didn't you?
Oh,
Oh, you're nice net, huh?
He knows what it is.
big bass.
Right?
Hey?
He's taking after his brain, innit? He shows I ain't got small brains.
Try to buy Maggie buys pinkies, don't you, Al?
Right. 12, 12.
Look at this, Maggie went another
12, 14? Yeah,
What's that? Oh, 8, 10, 14.
yeah, I'll do. Okay, now my turn to weigh in now. 29 to beat. Be interesting. Yeah, he had 29 on the end. I thought he would have had more than that, but of course there's the other end yet to go. Anyway.
Yeah. 53 pound. So it was 50 pound, it was a fucking ounce. 53 pound 2. All right, Clive?
53, okay.
53.
I'll do.
I've netted small fish. That's what he told me. He said,
I know.
lots of small fish.
Ah, there you go. 53 pound. Phew, hard work that was. Carrying 53 pound in one hand. Bloody hell.
Green and Gabbling or Green. Not Gabbling or Green. What's the name?
Ben.
Gabbling or...
Red one, I mean,
Who's he?
Is that right? Yeah, Ben. Nice. Yeah, first time he's been here, look.
Look at the weather now, boys, isn't it?
Oh, look there.
16,
No, they've got a
12.
16, 12, well done. Well done, Ben. So what do you think of this venue?
Lovely.
Nice, isn't it? And not bad for the first time. Not bad for the first time.
head round it, Clive.
Yeah, well done, mate.
No, I'm serious.
I remember Sean Wilson said the same. Next thing, he's on it all the time.
He's off work. He's off work sick, he is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's got a bad back. He's off work. Somebody in the
No names mentioned then.
there was some guy, one of
Who's that?
one of the Welsh games was there. Please don't film me. My wife thinks I'm at work. Holding a big sign up.
No.
Bad man, right?
Yeah, it's a nice peg, this is.
Fucking hell, that somebody knows how to fucking drop the fish here.
See that other fish?
I'd like to say that was £53 Martin, but it's not.
Oh, not quite.
20. Come on, no girls. Stay still.
28.
28.
2.
Hang on.
28 2.
Hang on a sec.
Just over 20.
I know, Steve.
Good weight, so you bastard.
It is close. 28 dead, I think.
Yeah, 28 dead, yeah.
28.
Lucky back. Nice bag, mate.
Hold on, lad.
Well, yeah, Tim's on the golden peg, on the end peg. Is he going to do it? No.
No.
That's a shame. But again, it's the first time Tim's fished it, so, you know.
No, we lost a bream as well.
You need to come a couple of times so you can, you know, you get the swing of it, like.
There's everything in there. So there's eels,
Yeah.
there's fucking smelt, bass, mullet.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the mullet. Well, I've seen the pictures of them.
Yeah, Ian's had a few mullet, hasn't he?
Yep, lovely.
Well done, Tim.
It's had a beautiful day.
Yeah.
I lost them in the last 2 hours. Weird.
Yeah.
12.
12, 2, just over 12.
Sloppy a twat.
Yeah.
12-3.
12, 3.
12 pounds.
Yep, okay, so that's it, I won it. As I say, it's a cracking menu. I mean, the guys are throwing £20 back and not anywhere in the frame with it, you know. As I said, £53, that's a good weight for the winter anyway, I think. More bream and skimmers. As I said, it's kept me interested. It's hard to know what what you're accumulating because of the variety of fish. You know, the sizes from like 8 ounces, then up to like £2. You know, it's hard to try and keep an eye on your total weight. So, you know, when you do weigh 53, it's a nice, pleasant surprise. You know, and say the second weight was £29, so I had plenty of space between me and second. Okay, hope you enjoyed it, and see you on the next vlog.